Welcome everybody to Painted Rose Gaming News, or PRGN. I am your host and game informant Habtom. To give you a good idea of what this is going to be, I will be keeping you up on what's going on in the gaming world or just talking about video games in general. Today, we're going to take a look into some of the good, the bad, and the meh of 2020. Now, I understand that 2020 had a lot going for it, and a lot was happening in the gaming world. So I compiled a list of a couple games that I felt were interesting or at least had something to say about. Now please understand I am in no way bashing or trying to insult these games. These are the games that I felt had some sort of impact on the year, and these are my opinions and interpretations on the information that I had. With that out of the way, let's dive right into it. We're going to go ahead and start with the bad. Marvel's Avengers. Now, I can already hear the complaints and frantic typing in the comments, but hear me out. This game had a very strong build-up talking about how you can be an Avenger, save the world, all of that. Then, when the game came out, people unfortunately realized that that's all the game had going for it. The huge name to capitalize on. It was, and I really don't care to compare games to one another, but this was a Destiny clone. It had repetitive content, several technical issues, and a gear system that didn't quite fit. They also had the game have live events to help you grind for that special gear that you were eyeing at. And if that wasn't enough, they put in microtransactions. Yes, I understand that they were for cosmetics only, but still, you made people pay $60 for the game. At least Spider-Man understands that you can earn all the cosmetics. That aside, it had a decent storyline. Combat did become repetitive, but it was interesting enough to be able to switch between some of the characters. Overall, I don't think that Marvel's Avengers was living up to the hype that they had been giving us. Next up on the bad, we have a game called Crucible. Not sure what this game is? Don't worry, a lot of people did not. This was Amazon's attempt at a free-to-play multiplayer third-person shooter with different heroes or hunters as the game refers to them. You were to play whatever the objective was, be it control the point or move the payload. This game was similar to Overwatch or Team Fortress, but unfortunately, this game never truly had a chance to show us what it had to offer because it had only lasted for 4 months before they inevitably shut the servers down. This game wasn't horrible or a technical nightmare. It was just boring. They didn't market the game well, they just launched it. Because of this, the game had a small player base, didn't really have that many hunters, and the objectives just weren't as captivating as some of the other games. The game officially shut down on October 9th and gave refunds to anyone who did put any money in towards cosmetics. Now, Amazon has stated that with this game done, they are putting all of this manpower into focusing on their new game, New World, which hopefully we will be able to talk in a later video. But for now, unfortunately, their first attempt at this kind of game did not go so well. Moving on, let's look at the mess of 2020. Baldur's Gate 3. This game is the embodiment of D&D. It has all the elements from character customization, class, abilities, rolling dice on probability, choosing dialogue, and so much more. The reason why I'm putting this game in the meh category is that everything that I just listed is very limited because this game is still in early access. I don't know what you're thinking. Isn't this game $60? Yes, I don't know why they're doing that. They did. I get it. Get people interested. Maybe they'll give the game to people who already have it in early access. Or maybe they're going to have them charge another fee for it. I'm not sure. But with all that being said, this game does have a very large storyline. It gives you plenty of options on how you want to play. And the combat is very Divinity, D&D, turn-based combat, that kind of stuff. Some of the issues that people have been having with it, though, are sudden crashes, glitches in the graphics, the game freezing, and a couple other issues. Luckily, this game is still in early access, so they do get a pass for a couple things, but let's hope that Larian Studios can get it all fixed by the time that the game is actually available and a full game. Next up on the meh, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, before you go and pick up your pitchforks and torches, hear me out. I will not argue that this game is not one of the best RPGs that has come out in recent time, with its side quest options that vary because of what path you take, customizations on how you want your character to look and play, multiple endings, and a beautiful looking world. Some of the downfalls for it were they constantly delayed the game, essentially teasing everyone. They hyped it up to be one of the most perfect games, and now, a couple weeks later, people aren't really talking about it or really looking into it. But my biggest issue that I felt with Cyberpunk 2077 that puts it in the meh list is that they made an almost impossible to play game for older consoles. The game suffered from serious bugs, low frame rates, and blurry textures, and not to mention the constant crashes. This became such an issue that people were able to get refunds from Sony, and now it has been taken off the PSN store. As I said earlier, I still think it's a great game. I just think that they should have waited until they were completely ready and fixed all the bugs. Alright, with that out of the way, we can finally start looking at the good. The first game on this list is going to be Hades. Now, I will try and stay biased on this, but no promises. To give you an idea on how well this game did in 2020, in the 2020 Game Awards, it was nominated for Best Game of the Year. Unfortunately, it didn't win, and the only category that it did win was Best Indie Game. But you have to remember, this indie roguelike kept up with games like Last of Us 2, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Ghost of Tsushima. It had a colorful art design, beautiful soundtrack, and a strong narrative that progressed the more you die or succeed in each run. The basic layout of it is, you're the son of Hades, Zagreus, and you try to attempt to leave the underworld. You want to see what the living and Olympus have to offer. As you play, you strengthen your bonds with different characters such as gods like Zeus, Poseidon, or Athena, and every encounter you get with them shows you a better look at the gods, or potentially they help you progress the main storyline. Every run has the potential to give you something new, be it a new side quest to complete for a god, a new weapon to help you complete your run, or even currencies to spend on abilities to help you last longer or complete the actual escape. If you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it, and I think you will enjoy it. Now, lastly on this list, this game I feel has gotten plenty of attention. You can't get away from it. It's all over Twitch, YouTube, you see it in memes. The game I'm talking about, of course, is Fortnite. Fortnite. No, hold up. This is my video. I'm changing the script. And that game, of course, is Among Us. That's right. Among Us has proven to be one of the best games of 2020. With its simple design, fun task, and a party format that has you blaming people for something they never did, it is a game that has given many countless hours of fun, and let's be honest, a little rage. But we all keep coming back to it. It's a game that has won Best Mobile Game of the Year. Its accessibility to everyone allows it to be played by thousands. It has plenty of replayability. You play with randoms, you can play with your friends, the chat during the conferences, it all just flows so well together. And that's why I think Among Us is one of the best games of 2020. Now, I know 2020 gave us a lot more good or bad video games, but obviously I just wanted to do a quick touch up on some of the games that I felt should be addressed. If you didn't agree with this list or wanted me to talk about any specific game you enjoyed or hated, please comment down below. Until then, I will see you in the next video.